everybody, Suzanne Brubaker here, creator and owner of Water and Rock Kids. I offer children's yoga classes online and in person here in Vermont. I also offer yoga classes for teens, private sessions, integrative yoga sessions, where we really kind of dive deep into what your child needs the most, working one-on-one. And I also lead kids yoga teacher trainings online and self-paced, and I just enjoy those so much. So if you are interested in learning more about how to help children through yoga, or just teaching kids yoga to the kids you already work with, or maybe even starting a side business of your own, please join my kids yoga teacher training programs. And if you have any questions, let me know. All right, so today we're going to talk about feeling overwhelmed, because I hear this quite often, and in our current environment, it's quite common for children to feel overwhelmed, and often they can't articulate it or even fully understand it. So what we may be seeing presented, maybe in the classroom or maybe at home or in the library if you're a librarian, wherever it is, signs of children feeling overwhelmed can vary so widely, but you may be seeing children who are dysregulated, children who are tantruming and you have no idea why, children who are fighting with their peers, arguing with you, refusing to do their assignments. There's all kinds of ways that this can manifest in children, and that feeling of just feeling overwhelmed emotionally, socially, it's just so common, and children really need our support and guidance to help them get through this. Yoga is a great way to help children with these feelings. Yoga, there's a ton of research that shows that over time, yoga can help children feel more regulated, feel calmer, feel less reactive, engage in more healthy responses, and all kinds of things like that. So let's talk about a couple of practical things that you can do with your child or student that you feel is feeling overwhelmed. Okay, there's a couple of things I wanted to mention today. One is breathing. So when a child feels overwhelmed, sometimes they're feeling overwhelmed with thoughts of the future, or thoughts of the past, or thoughts of something that maybe they think is presently happening, but it's not really. Often those feelings of overwhelm, anxiety, those types of things are based on things that are not in the present. The future is not present. It's not actually happening. It's just in your mind. The past is in the past. That's just memories. The present is all that we have. Okay, so I think really kind of drawing their awareness to that. Okay, we're feeling overwhelmed. Let's take a moment together and do a deep breath here. Okay, it can be a belly breath, it can be ocean waves breath, any breath that you can think of, just a nice deep breath. Maybe take 3 or 4 deep breaths together with the child. Our breath is our present moment, and our breath is all we have. And that can both physiologically and emotionally help to calm a child and allow them to be more present, to be able to make healthier decisions in terms of their responses to situations. That's number one. Number two, another way to help a child who's feeling overwhelmed can be to focus on the senses, a senses activity. So one way that I like to focus on the senses is have a child look around the room. This is very simply, this is great for grounding, orienting, centering, bringing them into the presence. Look around the room and find 5 things that you have not noticed here before. Take a deep breath and look around and see if you can find 5 things that you see that you have not seen before. Okay? And then if you want to keep going with that, you can say, take a moment, take a deep breath. Now close your eyes, or maybe just look at the ground if they don't want to close their eyes. Now find 4 things that you hear that you didn't notice before. What are 4 things that you hear? and it can be anything near, anything far. And you can keep going with that throughout your senses. 3 things that you can feel, right? My mat, the floor, my pants. 2 things that you can taste, right? So just doing a simple little activity like that can really help them to say, okay, this is where I am. I'm okay, I'm safe, everything's okay. You have that deep breath and you have those senses to help ground, okay? So those are just a couple of things that you can use for children who are showing those big feelings, or maybe you notice the signs of those feelings starting to happen or those behaviors starting to happen. I mean, that's best case scenario, that you can kind of get there before the behaviors actually happen, right? Either way, just finding a way to bring them into the present and not saying, hey, you need to take a deep breath, but saying, hey, join me, let's take a deep breath together, right? So, so important. All right, hopefully this was helpful for you guys. I'd love to hear how that goes if you do use this with children and what types of responses you get to it. It's not always going to be a perfectly laid out plan. It's not always going to work perfectly, but with consistency and with practice, I promise you these yoga tools that I'm showing you are going to make a huge difference. So try it out and let me know how it goes. I'll see you soon.